Right, we're gonna do a little fix to our array here. So if I just refresh real quick, and so we can see, so if I click frozen yogurt and ice cream, and I want two ice creams, right? As you can see over here, it goes duplicate key because we pushed in the ice cream sandwiches twice, because that's what we're telling the system to do. We don't really have any setup things for it to, if it's already existing over here, just add to the quantity of it, right? So if I click ice cream again and again, it would just add 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, and so on to this one. So we're gonna fix this, and we can use the prototype in JavaScript called find to do this. So we're going to go through the array of basket to see if this item already exists in this array, and if it does, just add to the quantity, and if it doesn't exist, then we push in the entirety of the item, right? So that's what we're going to do. Now if we go back to our add baskets, which is the one that actually is doing this, we're going to set up a if statement for this. So if, and we're going to create the first one here. And you can see it's already giving me an error, so I'm just going to set up the last one afterwards. That's fine. What we want to do is we want to go into this basket here, and we want to use the find as I just mentioned. And in this find, we're going to go through the array to check to see what happens in here, and if something is located in here. So we go and create a function, we're grabbing an item, and then we're checking upon this, right? So I'm going to call this item in array. This is kind of my function here. I'm going to use the fat arrow notation or the lambda sign or whatever it's called. And then I'm going to check to see if the item name is there. And I'm going to set this equals to item in, oops, I'm going to spell this correctly, in array dot name. So this is my check here. And I'm going to add a little bit more to this now. This is just the first part of the array. This is my if statement. If this is true, then we need to do something in our code. And I'm going to set this item here basically to this. So I have a check on this one. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this down here. That's easy, right? So woohoo, that's done. And why is it not having my... I need to add this here to close my find tag here, right? So I'm just setting this to check if this is true. Then you do this. If this is true, it exists, then do nothing. But if it's not true, if the item is in here, then this is true, and then the only thing we want to do is we only want to grab this, and then the function called increase, not the function, is called method here, this one here, then we are invoking this or doing a call to this function called increase. So we are telling it only to increase the size of our item instead of adding everything to it, right? So that's the first part of our if statement. That ends here, and then we have our else. So let's add this here and end this here. Whoops, let's see. Oh, sorry, I need to do this. Stop, and then this, and then push this in so it's a little bit more code specific. So now we have our if statement, and let's go check this out to see if this works. So hopefully when I do this, it still adds it. And if I click this, and adds, and if I click this again, it should only add to the actual amount. So instead of having ice cream 7 times down here, now we're only adding an extra quantity to each one. Now this can give us issues if we're like a pizza shop or a bagel shop. If people wanted a pepperoni and one of them wanted one with extra something cheese on it, right? Could give us an issue, but whatever. Now you can also see how we can add and check to see if an item exists in an array, and if it does, we only increase the actual quantity or the price or whatever you want. You can switch this one out down here. But now we're checking to making sure that if it exists, you only do this one specific thing, and if none of of this item actually exists in the array, then we're pushing in everything to it, right? Awesome. So now we have a fairly functional web shop here, fairly functional basket here. I don't want to call it a web shop, that adds structure, and if we move stuff, it goes back to this one. All right, in the next video, we're going to do a little if else statement in Vue. So if this is empty, then it presents us with the text, and if there's something in it, it shows us this one, right? Cool, see you in the next video.